Hello, everyone, and welcome to SFDC Sessions for the week of April 20th, 2020. My name is Elisa Carroll, and I'm editor-in-chief of Henry Magazine. This week, we're privileged to have a global view on the industry thanks to our three guests, Chad Stark, Senior Vice President of Stark and the President of Scalamandré. Hi, Chad. You are the most successful in your virtual background.
Thank you. It looks like I'm in my New York showroom, but I'm not, so fooled ya.
Phillip Bershad, the president of Phillip Jeffries. Hi, Phillip.
Hi. I think my virtual background's pretty good too.
It's fabulous. I couldn't tell if that was home or showroom or where are you?
It's called Serenity, and because I need some serenity now, as Kramer once said.
Yes, I wish we could be in that space you do. That looks very much so. And Daniel Kravet, the vice president of sales at Kravet. Hi, Daniel.
Hey, how are you?
Really well. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us in the midst of all you have going on. And our many thanks to the San Francisco Design Center and Rhonda Harada for providing us with this platform to share with you. So first, obviously, all of you are operating on a global scale, and you have supply chains that extend throughout the United States and Europe, Asia, India. Can you just give us a sense of the tenor of the international production community as you go into the 6th week of shelter in place? Chad, shall we start with you?
Sure. So, it's crazy what's going on in this world as you just kind of outlined. And what we've seen in a lot of our production regions, because they have less medical capabilities, they're a lot more scared about what may happen if this really becomes widely spread throughout their communities. So they're being a little more strict in terms of their shelters in place. For carpets and rugs, the two biggest areas we do handmade product are India and Nepal. Both of those currently have shelters in place through mid-May, which means that the production is all on hold. I mean, they're still working remotely from an art capacity and still doing some work there. We're still obviously doing everything we can to prepare orders, knowing that the floodgates are going to open and everyone's going to have a rush to make these products. But from an India and Nepal standpoint, their production's just on hold now. And it was until the end of April. It got extended to the middle of May. So we'll see what happens there. Other regions where we do different types of product, hand tufted versus hand knotted. China, which was the first to obviously deal with this pandemic. Now they're really back up and almost functioning full for us. Thailand is also functioning very well. And so depending on the product category, there might be more delays versus some.
Right. And it's very conscientious. And I know all of you in your own warehouses and showrooms have shared how assiduously you're keeping to COVID protocols. So that's been, really wonderful on your part. So Phillip, can you give us your take on things as well?
Sure thing. So for us here at Phillip Jeffries, we have been, I guess, very lucky in New Jersey being able to operate here. So although I'm here all by myself in our main office, I give the analogy, I feel like Jack Nicholson in the Shining, just me in this big facility. Luckily, the guys in the back are working. Our warehouses are open, shipping samples and shipping orders and wearing all goggles and masks and gloves and etc. And we actually do digital printing here on site as well. So we've been able to maintain our digital printing. In terms of globally, we actually have a factory in Japan, and they experienced some issues obviously early on, but we've still been able to manufacture at not quite the same levels as before, but we're back up and running and not seeing any delays, thank God.
Excellent, and that's great to hear the update that things are starting to open up a little bit. Daniel, can you share your perspective?
Sure. So for us, we have a variety of product categories, but speaking to fabric, we work with mills from all over the world. As Chad mentioned, India is obviously, on shutdown right now. Italy, Belgium, where a few of our mills are located, are as well. But they're really taking it as we all are, day by day, week by week basis. Things are changing so quickly. It's so dynamic. So we're hoping that they're going to continue to be able to evaluate the situation and open up sooner than later. In terms of our furniture factories, that's a little bit across the board, but they're also looking to hopefully reopen some by the end of this month, some early May. So we'll wait and see there. But fortunately, we're in a good position with our warehouse being located in Anderson and then We have another warehouse located in England, in Poole, that are open, operating, and shipping orders out. So we're lucky in that regard that we're able to continue to operate from that standpoint.
Right, that's been incredibly encouraging to hear from all three of you that your warehouses are operational, obviously according to COVID standards, but they're able to, they're fully stocked and able to ship out things as much as designers can receive them. So Chad, can you give us an update on what's available to designers and how you're approaching kind of production and hold?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, as you said, I think all three of your guests today are fortunate because all of our warehouses are fortunately allowed to be open and obviously all following those standards. And for us, we're really trying to focus our messaging to our clients that around confidence is, we've been around a long time and we're going to continue to be around a long time. And the thing that will really hurt our industry as a whole is if designers become scared to place orders with their vendors. The three of us here, fortunately, we have relatively larger operations. And so, they hopefully are more confident working with us, but confidence is a huge component. And so from that standpoint, we're focusing a lot of our, spur of the moment marketing, where our marketing strategy has changed to focus on the things that we have in our warehouse. So, Stark and Scalamandré both have thousands of stocked items in our warehouse. From a fabric standpoint, just like the others on this call, we're shipping more memos probably today direct to our customers than we ever have from our warehouse. We're shipping orders and memos. From a carpet standpoint, we have a fabrication facility in our warehouse. So if we're taking stocked broadloom that we store in rolls and making that into finished rugs, we're still operating that at 100% capacity. And we're getting things basically ready to go. So if someone picks something that's in stock, if it can be shipped with UPS, which is really from a rug standpoint, anything 8x10 or smaller, we can send those directly to wherever they need to go. For the larger rugs, where we need receiving or for unfinished product, we're just trying to get those ready and have them in the shipping dock right now. So that way, if we can do all the work, so once the floodgates open,
right,
everything hopefully ships within 24 to 48 hours. So that's kind of where we're focused from our warehouse and what's in stock, and that's what we're encouraging our designers to do. Whether it's our Stark Studio Rugs collection, which is our mainly online product, but we have those rolled and packaged and ready to ship, versus our made-to-order broadloom, versus any of our samples or fabric by the yard and wall covering by the roll. We're just trying to, when they can receive it, we'll send it. If you can go direct to a home, we'll send it, or we'll just get ready in our dock to go out once the floodgates open.
Brilliant. So you're saying encouraging designers to get their orders in, get them placed, because they'll be teed up and queued and ready to go once things are opened up again. And obviously anything else that's available to send by UPS can go, as long as they can receive it. So that's great news.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Daniel, can you tell us a little bit about your status? I know you said that like 95% of your memos are going out within 24 hours. You've got a number of things in stock. Can you bring our designers up to date on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, our memos, they ship out same day, and then they'll be received by the designer within 1 to 2 days after that. In terms of fabrics, we're fortunate that our stock levels are really great. About 90% of non-custom product is in stock in our warehouses, ready to ship. And then what we've done with our pack and hold option that we're offering now is for orders that designers have, but either their client's hesitant or their receiver may be closed or there's not a final destination, we're holding those orders indefinitely until they're able to confirm that the receiver's open or so forth. And if they have open terms with us, that still applies as well. So definitely trying to accommodate, understanding the situation, the environment, and are lucky to be able to be in a strong stock position for the majority of our product.
Fantastic. That's great news. And Phillip, you as well. You said, you've got this new PJ pledge as well that enables people to find a replacement with you. And I'll let you tell the story, but it's really terrific.
Sure. Well, I think what, Chad mentioned earlier, I think is really important in confidence right now. I think right now I've reached out, I know I've spoken to Chad and many other friends and tried to talk to designers and ask, how can we help? What can we do right now in this crazy time? And one of the things, obviously, it's a very difficult time. And it's actually been a difficult year for some companies. And we've talked to some designers who had worked with companies that unfortunately went out of business and that placed orders and got unstuck. And we launched something, actually we just launched it yesterday, called the PJ Pledge. And it's a couple of different components to it. One is what PJ protection. If you're a designer and you've placed an order with another company and it went out of business, or you placed an order with somebody and for whatever reason it can't ship, we're here for you. We're offering 20% off comparable goods, and we're offering free shipping. So that's part one. Part two is, at least through the end of the month, throughout the end of April, on any good right now at Phillip Jeffries, we're offering free shipping. So we actually have over 1,000 items, over 1 million yards in stock. So if a designer has something and they want to place the order right now, great. We're here to help, and we're willing to give that at no cost for ground shipping on UPS. And then three, similarly to the Chad and Daniel, at Phillip Jeffries, if you have an order and you want to place it, but you have no place to send it, no problem. We're willing to take that order. If you pay for the order, we'll hold it for up to 60 days for you. And then when you're ready, we'll ship it again at our charge.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that and for being of service and trying to find alternate ways for designers to kind of move around those supply chains. That's a huge help. You know, and one of those challenges has been for designers to continue to scout and spec new projects, because thankfully many of their residences and their commercial projects as well are moving forward. So how are you presenting new product? Daniel, you had shared that you've just had a number of new collections come out for 2020. So how are you delivering those or getting the word out to designers?
Yes, so a few different ways. Our sellers are working remotely from home, so they're reaching out to customers, all different various ways of communicating, phone calls, texts, emails, video conferencing, so they're able to do product presentations that way, as well as being able to share on social media. We've seen our sellers really engage with their communities and being able to communicate with them, whether it's through Instagram or Facebook or so forth. And then we've turned to Kravet.com as well, where we're uploading new product almost daily to be able to have a place that our designers can go to and shop our website, place CFAs, order memos, etc. So we've got a couple of new tools as well on the curated side. For those of you who aren't familiar, curated is our home accessories, where we include lighting, wall art, mirrors, accent furniture, etc. So really anything that a designer would need to finish the home. Where we started a couple of new custom programs that is for lighting. So you could pick your options, your base, your glaze, your shape, all that stuff, and it visualizes on the website for you. So it's a nice tool and timely for designers to be able to see what that product would look like, as well as a custom tables where they could pick their base and top and see how that would look on the website as well. So between the tools on Kravet.com and the creativity of our sellers is really how we're trying to get that message out. And then of course our own corporate messaging as well.
So this new series that you're sharing, that's something that's available now to ship. So if someone if a designer goes to the site and creates a custom light or a custom table, that's available to be made and to ship right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
As with the majority of curated items, a lot of it is stocked in our warehouse in Anderson, and business as usual in that regard.
Brilliant. Okay. And then Chad, you've rolled out several new things. Scalamandré, you said your road reps have their kits and they can send memos direct from the warehouse as well. Can you give us an insight into how you're sharing your new collections?
Sure. So, I mean, fabric and wall covering, the sales process is a little different than that of carpets and rugs. And so I'll start with the Scalamandré side. I mean, we, just like Kravet, a new product coming out all the time. Scalamandré is now this multi-line showroom that has Scalamandré brand, of course, and the Stark brands like Old World Weavers, etc., but also has these European brands like Liliev, etc. So every month we have pretty much a new collection coming out. And so we're still sending, rather than the samples to our showrooms because they're not open, we're still making sure that our road reps get these full kits. And it's been really inspiring to see how some of them are adapting and using this opportunity to show product in a new way. Many of our reps are filming anywhere from 15-minute to 60-minute road showings where they have a fabric board, they're laying it over, and they're doing a full fabric presentation like what we did at our internal sales meetings, but now they're putting it on YouTube, they're doing it on Instagram Live, they're using social media in interesting ways. And that's been really successful. Coupling that with our Scalamandré website, which since Stark and Scalamandré merged our fabric division about 3 years ago, it took a while, as I'm sure you can imagine, to get all of the information consistent across all the products, et cetera. And so, Scalamandré's new website, which launched a while ago, 3-6 months ago, has really been a great tool for designers. We're seeing a lot of interest, highlighting new product there, fully transactable, e-commerce capable for fabric wall covering and trim. And so that's been a great tool and a vehicle for us to show the product there. On the Stark side, we don't have as much of a road sales force. All of our account managers, our sellers are inside outside. So they all, it's all account based versus region based. And they're just finding also interesting ways to stay connected with our clients.
So you've moved fluidly into all platforms, social media, virtual presentations, obviously having your road reps equipped with all of the samples and the tools that they need. And I've heard back, and Phillip, I want to get your point of view on this. I've heard back recently from so many designers that this new format of virtual presentations has been so time effective for them. They're able to shop with their whole group, but they're also able to really schedule those in. And they found that it's been really incredibly helpful. Phillip, you're doing this as well. I know you had over 20 collections launched this spring, and you're doing coffee and conversations. Just can you bring us up to date on your new collections?
Absolutely. I'll tell you got some really great innovators here. So they're hard acts to follow, Kravet and Stark. But we've also been trying to innovate and do some different things. We've similarly been doing Instagram. We've been doing the coffee conversations, a combination of Zooms with our local salespeople, as well as Jeffrey and I with designers, and asking and putting together a community and trying to give that opportunity for people to talk and share what's going on and what are some of their concerns. And I think one of the things that we can really do as industry leaders or aspiring to be industry leaders is to create that dialogue for people to really express where they're at and what they need. And one of the things that we are hearing right now is, I want convenience. And we've continued to spend a lot of resources and time and energy on our website, continuing to up that. If you want to see something that's in stock, that's blue, that's a lower price point, boom, you can see, what's 100 yards, that's a lower price point, boom, you can see that. You want to show your client what it looks like installed in someone else's house, boom, you can do that. So we're trying to utilize some of those tools. When it comes to product, I think that people are ready. I'll tell you, after being home for a long time, almost everyone I talk to is ready for something new. And like you mentioned, in the spring, we launched 23 collections, and we actually had something that was due to release this week. We pushed it back a couple of weeks, but halfway through May, we're going to be launching another over 100 new items, a big summer push in second week of May. And it's a great getaway. So stay tuned because I think it's something we all can use right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Every designer I've spoken with said that it's kind of moved on from our initial expectation, which was that many projects would stop, but instead clients are thrilled that designers are able to move forward. They're excited to have something to work on, and of course, perhaps valuing their homes even more now that they're spending so much time in them. And we spoke last week with 3 designers, and that idea of sanctuary and refuge has become a reality. And so it's really wonderful to know that designers can still come to all of you for all of these incredible new collections and services that you've got, like, business as usual. So in closing, as I spoke to each of you this week, it was really inspiring, not only to hear about what you've been doing for your communities so swiftly, but that all 3 of you have been speaking about how you can collaborate and establish best practices for the benefit of the industry overall. But just stepping back a little bit to your community efforts, and just to close our conversation, Daniel, you had said one of the very first things that came up once COVID had gone to shelter in place was a directive from Ellen Kravet to make masks to start serving the community. Can you share a little bit about what your efforts have been?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So yeah, my Aunt Ellen, she's on the board of the Cape Regional Health System in New Jersey, and my Uncle Carrie is on the board at Northwell Health. So very active in those communities. So quickly we wanted to help out those. And so we decided to have our sewers in our Anderson facility begin to make masks. We sent thousands of masks all across the country to hospitals, healthcare facilities, schools, cancer centers. And then we've also sent several thousands of yards to people to make their own masks. So that includes customers. And actually also locally in San Francisco, we sent yardage to the San Francisco Airport Commission for them to make their own masks for their essential workers too. So really any way that we could help out, we're more than happy to, and they're hard at work there and every day making several masks and sending them out where appropriate. So we're happy that we're able to contribute and do what we can.
Well, thank you for your support for everyone, and particularly the love for San Francisco. We really appreciate that. And Chad, too, you've already through Scalamandré donated hundreds of yards of fabric to Mask Club and some other efforts as well. Can you share what's happening there?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, there's two different efforts. So, I mean, the first thing I think anyone who stocks fabric by the yard thought of was, how can I use this yardage, whether it's my drop stuff, whether it's excess inventory, to contribute to a good cause. So just like Daniel said, that was what kind of the first thing we did, is said, well, who can we donate to and help that way? In addition to that, as a separate partnership, what we were looking at is trying to see what's out there, what opportunities do we have, and where can we leverage the kind of the integrity of our brands and the cool designs that we have to make a statement. And so we found a new startup called Mask Club, started by one of my college best friends, which is a mask subscription service where they're digitally printing designs on masks. And for every mask purchased, they're donating a mask to first responders. So we partnered with them, licensed, 15 designs to start with Stark and Scalamandré, some of our classic, the red zebra, some of our animal prints at Stark. And for every mask sold with our patterns, not only is one mask getting donated, but the portion that we get as a royalty, we looked in our industry and said, where in our industry does it need to help outside of first responders? And Kips Bay is an organization that's near and dear to our hearts. We usually have at least one table at their gala, their president's dinner, and they've had to cancel 4 springtime events this year, which usually gross anywhere from around $2.4 million in donations, which fund their summer programs. We said, well, it's not going to be $2.4 million, but how can we help that cause? And so 100% of the proceeds that come from us, which is 10% of the sale for every mask with our designs, is being donated to Kips Bay. And this launched 48 hours ago. In our first day, we sold 2,200 masks. In our next day, we sold 3,000 masks. So it's been amazing. We're like crashing the site. It's so much more successful than we could have even imagined. And Mask Club is such an innovative company, and because we happen to know the founder, we were able to get in on the ground floor. And obviously, this is just a great opportunity to help make the new normal a little more chic by giving some people some flair in their protective gear. And so, for a great cause with a great look, we're super excited about that partnership.
That's really fun, especially for kids, and being able to do something that feels a little more lighthearted as well. Can you share a little bit, for those who don't know, the programs that Kips Bay supports?
So they support a range of programs, but they focus on kids in different inner cities to make sure that they have, outside of just the basic needs, they have opportunities to create communities. And so one of the programs that I'm most familiar with is their summer programs, kind of like camp, where they allow these kids to kind of have an opportunity to play sports, play games, interact with each other. And, I went to summer camp, and it was one of the best experiences I had as a child. Maybe my parents wanted to just get rid of me for 8 weeks of summer. I don't know. But I enjoyed it, and it was an amazing experience for me. And Kips Bay, with that program specifically, is offering a similar experience to kids who just, aren't able to afford it and don't have the luxury of, being able to do something like that. And so that specifically is what we're focusing on with this partnership. But I mean, Kips Bay has massive amount of programs. We just know this is the one being most disrupted because of the spring event cancellations.
Oh, that's wonderful, right? Because so many kids, children of families everywhere are having to adapt so quickly, and it's really so disruptive for them to not be able to see their friends or be in class. So thank you for that effort. And Phillip, you had shared that you were working with the fire department in your hometown of Fairfield, New Jersey. Just give us a quick update on that, if you would, and then we'll have to sadly sign off.
Yeah, well, a number of years ago, Phillip Jeffries, we actually launched something we call the PJ Purpose, and it's actually 3 parts. It's about the environment, one is about the community, and one is about artisanship. So every year we actually, so this is before just recently, every year we actually look for a new small artisan, and we've gone to the Philippines, we've gone to Madagascar, we've gone to India, Vietnam, and found people we could support and help empower them actually to get product that they're doing. We've also done something with the environment, PJ Plants, where with every order a designer places, we plant a tree. And we've actually, with the Arbor Day Foundation, planted over 150,000 trees since that started. The thing that we've also been doing is when it comes to the local community is something called PJ Cares. So we've actually partnered with local food banks, Habitat for Humanity. There's an organization here called Kumac, and Eva's Kitchen right here in Paterson, New Jersey, where people who have either have substance abuse problems or homeless or battered victims of domestic abuse have a safe place to go. So we've continued to support them, and then tried to up it one and saying, you know what, our local community here trying to do even little things like buy lunch once a week for some of the local first responders. So we really believe in it's part of one of our responsibilities to give back, and this is just one addition, one time where I think we all have to. So I'm so glad to hear some of the other great things that Stark and Kravet are doing as well.
Yes, thank you so much to all of you, not only for working together so collaboratively to bring the best forward in the industry, but also supporting all of these incredible causes and working so nimbly to keep everyone in the design industry up and running and moving forward with their projects. So thank you so much for bringing your perspectives here today. We really appreciate it. And you and yours, please stay very well.
Thank you.
Stay safe, everyone.
Safe, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Take good care. Bye-bye.
Safe.